This is Ashley Curello, sharing my heart, music, and home. And today I'll be sharing a little bit of my home with you and how to make some turkey soup with all that leftover turkey you have from Thanksgiving. Today I'm going to be sharing a really simple way to make some turkey soup with leftover turkey. A friend who grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania shared how to make this soup with my mom and me, and I've just remembered how to make it over the years. It's very simple. It just takes bone broth and turkey, carrots, onions, celery, rice, and then some seasonings and just some time. Basically, I let it simmer on the stove, and that's what makes it super yummy. So let's talk through how you're going to make this soup. First, you need to start by making some bone broth. I think some people are intimidated by the thought of making bone broth. It sounds very tedious, but it's really not. All you do is just pick all the meat off of your turkey and you stuff the bones in your big stock pot, like I have one here, and then you fill it up with water up to basically the top of where the bones are. And the best way to make bone broth is to let it simmer for 24 hours. I know that sounds like a really long time, but that's the amount of time that's needed to get all of the nutrients out of the bones. Obviously, make sure you have any spoons or rags away from the stock pot. Sometimes it makes me a little nervous overnight, but just make sure everything's clear and you should be good to go. So once your bone broth has simmered for 24 hours, then you are going to want to strain it off. And usually what I do is get another stock pot and I set a strainer. I have this inexpensive little strainer from Walmart, and I set this down inside of another stock pot. I just let it rest on the ledge, and I pour my bone broth through this strainer to catch any bones or extra fat, or this time I left in some onions that I actually cooked inside of the turkey, so I want to catch all of that. I don't want that in my soup that I'm making for today. So once I've strained off my broth, then I'm going to put it back in my stock pot that I am making the soup in. And now I want to get started on chopping up my vegetables. So I'm going to chop up some carrots. And I'm going to dice some celery. Also chop up some onion. Don't tell my family, I have to sneak the onion in. Then once I've chopped up all my vegetables, I'm just going to dump it right back into my soup pot. I also like to use better than bouillon. It just gives a really nice flavor to soups. And what you're supposed to do is add 1 teaspoon of this for every cup. I'm probably not going to measure it out this time. Just add maybe a couple tablespoons just to give this some nice flavor. This soup can tend to be kind of bland if you don't season it well. So this is why I like to add some spices, like better than bouillon. I'm also going to add some mineral salt. You could get really creative and add some fresh herbs. My family is not that adventurous, so that's not what I will be doing, but you could certainly add anything like rosemary, oregano. And now I'm going to add some rice. I like to cook with brown rice, so I'm going to start with about a cup of brown long grain rice and add that to the stock pot. I'm just going to let this simmer for a little while. You could add your turkey at this point. I might add it closer to the end of the cooking time, and I would just let it simmer on your stove for a couple of hours. And as I said before, I'm going to add in my turkey probably closer to the end. The turkey is already cooked. I don't want to overcook it, so I'll just add that closer to the end. Thank you so much for watching as I made homemade turkey soup. If you've not subscribed yet, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching.